Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I've got game 2 of a best of 5 between AcerNerchio and ESCmonchi. Monchi is the green Protoss in the bottom right, Nerchio is the red Zerg in the bottom left. As I said, this is game 2 from a best of 5. It is the final of the Antec Attack tournament. If you haven't watched game 1, go and tune into it. Otherwise, spoiler alert incoming, click pause if I remember. I'll put a little annotation up in this area so you can click it to watch game 1. But anyway, as I was saying, this is game 2. Game 1 went to Monchi, and that means it is loser's pick. Nerchio amazingly picked Shakura's Plateau. That's quite surprising because a lot of people think that it is Protoss favoured slightly because, exactly as Monchi's doing, he's going for this fast expand, which is just so easy to take. It's ridiculous. It's even possibly more than ridiculous and redonkulous. I can't remember where that was said. It was somewhere. It was a film, if I recall correctly, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so Nerchio, one down. He is 1-0 in this best of 5, and it's for €125 in the Antec Attack tournament, which I cast every single week with someone from DE Sports. It's on. We go live at 6:30 PM UK time every Wednesday, so do tune in to check it out because it's a really good tournament. There's some people like Nerchio. It's open to most people, so you get some more high name people in there. It just depends on their schedule and whether they've been out playing, because ultimately it's €75 for second place, 125 for first. You can't complain. If you're someone like Nerchio or Monchi or Tails was in it, there's been some other kind of more high-end people as well, which essentially they have the opportunity to win €125. And at the end of the day, that's €125. It's a nice little bonus for an evening's work. So do tune in, it's brilliant. So that's all there. Now, what are both of these players doing? Well, Monchi going for a photon cannon before the Nexus, so playing it a bit safe. Meanwhile, Nerchio, he's got that pool on the way, but this probe, this evil probe, which has only just survived with 5 HP, it's kind of limping around, except I don't think probes can limp. Can they? They don't have legs. So can that little hovery blue trail actually get injured? Who knows? But that's beside the point. That probe has now run away. He's decided, I can't be bothered to block this expansion anymore, so Nerchio's just going to come and take it. Now, what is the response here? Nerchio needs to take a third base, but the trouble with this third base is that is a long way away from that, which means defending is awful, or not awful, it's just a bit difficult, and that is why a lot of Zerg players don't really like Shakura's Plateau, because the third base is not too nice to take. But that's beside the point. Nerchio is not just any Zerg player. He's probably got some awesome secret tactic to go on here, but who knows? I hope he does. I should probably point out, this is the second time I've cast this. I got through literally to about 10 seconds before the end of the game, and then my doorbell went. It's a horrible moment when that happens, because you're just like, you could have come 10 seconds later, and then I wouldn't have had to repeat everything I've done. But anyway, Monchi is taking down 2 assimilators. He's got his own natural base about to finish up. Nerchio's natural base about to finish up. He's got his third on the way, and he's got no gas. Because as I said in game 1, getting gas early on against Protoss isn't too good. But you don't actually need the gas to defend anything. They can throw at you early on. And by getting it, you just delay your third base and some drones. Which is sad face. Sad face. Because who needs that? Anyway, the Nexus, it is down. Monchi is now at this 2-base wonder spot. It's not too easy for him to take a third, because a third's here, and now, this is the other thing. He can take this quite easily, and he can also defend it stupidly easy in about the mid-game, because this choke, tiny. And that means the Zerg can't really attack through here, and it also means that if the Zerg comes over here, well, he can just defend both of his bases perfectly happily. So, yeah, that's all the reasons why Nerchio is a bit peculiar. This pylon coming down here, not doing anything. There's cybernetics core, only just finishing up now. And hang on, what's this probe doing? What are you going to build, probe? Probe, what are you going to build? What are you going to build? A Stargate. So, a Stargate is on its way out. And, well, what is Nerchio going to do? He's got to build an evolution chamber. Because Lair is not going to be done because he's the first to gas from Nerchio. His third base is up, though. Woo! Which is always good because that means he can get more drones. And drones make people happy. If you're TLO, you be like the game of drones. And just build them, build them, build them. Get to 74, and then you just build army, army, army. And then you just go, lol, 1A. and just walk over whoever your opponent may be. Monchi getting up that third gas so he can support Tech and a Stargate off of these two bases, which is exactly what he wants to do. Will this Stargate make Phoenix or Voidways? Merit to both. Voidways obviously can attack buildings, smiley face, but they are also quite weak to queens and things like that. Phoenix, on the other hand, can't attack buildings, sad face, but they can pick off overlords and drones and queens, so they can damage the economy. They can just be irritating. They won't win you a game, but they will irritate the hell out of a Zerg player, which is always happy. They're also really cost effective because they just lift up queens and they're fast. They can't really get picked off by anything, so as long as your micro is good, you can just deal damage with Phoenix and pick off overlords and just be happy. I'm slightly hyperactive, I have noticed that. There comes down the evolution chamber just in time, although these Phoenix are actually sitting back at the moment because you get an Evo at the same time as a Rotron. Rotron depends you on the ground, the Evo lets you get upgrades, hooray, and also spores. Lair also coming out for Nerchio. He's also got Spine at his third because it's, as I pointed out, a bit awkward to defend. Here comes a Robo down from Monchi, so he's going for some kind of 1-1-1 play. Because why the hell not? You're on Shakur's plateau. You've got, look at this. Look at just how well defended this is. This single sentry can just force field off this ramp and just be happy, and that cannon can just shoot stuff. Probes are not getting boosted. It's the Stargate. Some more gateways being added on. 4 more gates. That'll take him to 5 gates. And a pylon. I thought that was another gateway then, but it wasn't. Meanwhile, Nerchio, he's getting up +1 missile attack. He's getting metabolic boost, also known as Zergling speed. Munchie's also getting up that +1 ground attack, getting an immortal out, that'll help deal with any roaches. So obviously the one thing the Munchie has to be careful of is Nerchio saying, you've got Phoenix, well, in which case I'm just going to build roaches and come and kill you. But obviously the immortal and sentries will deal with that very, very well. So this is a good run out play. A Robo Bay coming out as well here from Munchi. Where are you, Robo? There we go. So that's quite good. Now out come these Phoenix, and this Overseer is going to die almost certainly. It's going to die, and there we go. No, it survived, because when it pops out of its cocoon, it gets full HP back, which means it's going to be fine. But these Overlords are going to be less lucky. They're going to die. They're going to die a horrible death, but spawns are on the way. They are at the third base and at natural, and here we go. All of these Overlords are going to die. That is hideous to see. The Queen is lifted but dropped, so the Phoenix do stay alive. Phoenix production has now stopped, but if we take a look at the loss tab, already 700 to 200, as I said, so cost effective. But also Nerchio is coming up with these roaches. He's like, well, fine, gonna come and kill you. But there's an Immortal. Immortals are big scary units. There's also some units up here just preventing scouting. 3 more gateways being added on. Now what are these Phoenix doing? Well, they're very, very carefully skirting around the side of the map because there's spores everywhere and Phoenix aren't too strong. But it does actually look like Nerchio's just going to march forward, but that one drone sacrificing himself, and at which point Nerchio is like, no, I won't. I'll just check for a third. Which this Zergling, the Roach is just really coming along me like, are you sure there's no third? More Overlords have been killed, and now this is not good because Nerchio was temporarily supply blocked. 1,000 resources lost to 200. Well, that just shows you how cost effective Phoenix are. Now, of course, the downside here for Nerchio is he's at 153 supply. He's got way more supply than Monchi, but he can't really push because there's an Immortal, a Colossi, and a nice wall off. But he is going to move forward. Those roaches are going to dart forward. They will focus down that Immortal. The Colossi gets back, though. Range isn't yet done for the Colossi. The Immortal goes down, and now the roaches do back out as quickly as they can before too much damage is done. But great lifts from the Phoenix, and now the Stalkers will just be able to finish this off. And the Zealot's moving forward as well, so there's no way those roaches will get away or escape ever. Meanwhile, Nerchio getting up his infestation pit just finished, +2 missile attack on its way. And it does actually look like Nerchio is going to move some of these spores forward just to defend against the Colossi and Phoenix. A second Colossi joins the fray. Now, if that Colossi number gets too high, no matter how many roaches Nerchio has, they will just melt. They will melt like butter in a microwave. Never put butter in a microwave, and if you do, only for about 10 seconds. Useful cooking fact from StarCraft 2 England. That pylon was cancelled, so that's good. And now, as I said at the very start, these little chokes are really nice because it just means you can defend really easily. Range for those Colossi is about to finish up, and here comes the roaches. They've got good arc, actually, and some Zerglings coming in from behind. The force fields weren't quite on the money. The roaches are pushing forward, trying to focus down. The Colossi, one goes down. Is the second one going to get sniped? Yes, it will, but the third joining into the fray. The Phoenix do lift up quite a lot. And I don't actually think Nerchio has enough to finish this, especially with the extra warp in, and that means he's going to have to try and back away ASAP. Does manage to escape with a handful of roaches, but that wasn't too cost effective. If we take a look, oh, it wasn't actually too bad. He brought it back a bit, but still obviously more resources lost by Nerchio. If we take a look at the worker count, it's 68 to 48, so 20 worker advantage to Nerchio. He needs to keep that up. He needs to get it to about 74 is ideal. More Colossi are on the way. In terms of upgrades, +2 is also, no, +1 is done for Monchi's army. Meanwhile, +2 is about to finish up. Pathogen glands on the way, so is a Spire, more roaches in production, because Nerchio loves that Archy. He's just like drones, lava, he's a pirate, except there's nothing on A. That's beside the point. Here we go, Nerchio moving forward. Some good force fields come out though by Monchi. Monchi is again just having great control with those Colossi and those force fields, which means he gets some free roaches. A lot of force fields were wasted though, so that was possibly okay by Nerchio, but he's now losing. He's got not much stuff at all, and that Colossi number is getting higher. A third one is nearly finished its production, and at which point 3 Colossi will become very, very scary and will start melting roaches very, very fast. Some infestors are on the way. Obviously, Pathogen Glands has finished, so those infestor timing was a little bit late. Some money fungal growth would really, really help Nerchio here. He's building a lot of spines, but if Monchi just goes now, the range on the Colossi will allow him to just demolish the spines without taking any damage himself. The Phoenix giving vision. There must be an observer somewhere around. There we go. There's that little observer observing those creep tuners and just preventing Nerchio's from spreading it forward. And now here goes these spines before it's even up. Look at how quickly they melt Colossi. A third Colossi joins into the ranks. And now just look at this damage. The Zerglings do try to get in to do some damage to Colossi, but there's just so many roaches. And a massive fungal growth goes off on all of the Zealots and the Colossi and the Phoenix and the Stalkers. But it looks like Monchi just has too much stuff. And this is a common case of when you've just got more stuff, you win. The upgrade advantage is of course for Nerchio, but just look at how much damage is being done everywhere. The spines are getting completely cleaned out, and it does look like Monchi's choosing to go back. I think that's a wise move. He's only got 1 Colossi left, needs to keep that up. A second Colossi is on the way through. There's also going to be some more Stalkers added in. Those Phoenix still poking around. The 4th base for Nerchio is up, and Nerchio is also doing a great job of scouting around. No 3rd base yet for Monchi. He should be looking to try and take that relatively soon, or he may just try and end this game on 2 bases. Who knows? Some spines moving a bit more forward, just trying to defend this natural and the 3rd, which can be a bit of a nightmare. Some more infestors coming out, some more roaches coming out there for Nerchio. Meanwhile, Monchi is just happily killing off overlords and building up his army. He's got a second Colossi on the way over. He will probably almost certainly keep producing them. Some more sentries coming out just for the extra force fields. And now this is actually a nice defensive line from Nerchio. But he's got to be very careful how he engages. He doesn't want, this is exactly what he doesn't want Monchi doing, coming up to the top so he can pick it off from the side, but that is exactly what he's going to do. And now here we go with an engagement. No fungal growth off as of yet. He could really do with a big money fungal growth, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get one. Those roaches are melting to the 2 Colossi. There's so many Stalkers, and just look at the damage. The infestors were even lifted by the Phoenix and taken out, and this is pretty much all over now. I can't see Nerchio coming back from this. Just look at the army from Monchi here. He's going to sack that 3rd base because there's no way he can hold it. The Stalker numbers are just so high. 14, 15 roaches are in production though, but these reinforcements coming from the center of the map for Monchi. Monchi just ignoring that 3rd base as well and just going straight for the natural. The roaches are there, and of course the one disadvantage that Monchi has is he can't push up that ramp too easily, but well, you are really skilled from Nerchio, and he leaves the game. So that was game 2 of this best of 5, and it is now 2-0 to Monchi. So tune in for game 3. If I remember, I'll stick something on here so you can just go straight there, or put them in a playlist. Either way, who knows. But yes, tune in. It should be winning. So yeah, see you in a minute. Thumbs up this video, by the way, and subscribe if you like it. Bye.